Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Well guys, multiple choice questions, okay? We've got questions 32 to 34 and choose the correct letter. Very simple. Now let me tell you, in multiple choice questions also, the questions and the passage, they are in the same order. So, question number 32. The main idea of the third paragraph, very simple. We'll have to go to third paragraph, and main idea is that environmental damage and then something. So this multiple choice is incomplete sentence and we will complete it by using one of these options. Main idea, third paragraph, is that environmental damage and then something. So we will have to go to third paragraph. This is first, this is second, and this is third. Let's see. Our blaming of businesses also ignore the ultimate responsibility of the public for creating the conditions that let a business profit through destructive environmental policies. What's the question? Main idea of third paragraph is that environmental damage, and then they say something. Okay. In the long run, it is the public, either directly or through its politicians. He is saying actually public. Directly or through its politicians, that has the power to make such destructive policies unprofitable and illegal, and to make sustainable environmental policies profitable. He says actually public has the power, and they can do it directly by using people power, or they can use it because people elect politicians also. So public has the power, that's the main idea, to make such destructive policies unprofitable and illegal. Public can do it. Now let's go on and we see what are the options and all that. A. Requires political action. No, they said they can do it through political people, through politics and all that, but actually it's not that. Is the result of ignorance on the part of the public. Result of ignorance? No, they just talked about public power and what they can do, right? Let's go on. Then after that they say could be prevented by the action of ordinary people. Action of ordinary people, public power, and by selecting or electing the politicians. Exactly. Now I tell you why. There they said, in the long run, it is the public, either directly or through its politicians, that has the power to make such destructive policies unprofitable and illegal, and to make sustainable environmental policies profitable. So, public environmental damage, main idea of third paragraph is that environmental damage could be prevented by the action of ordinary people. Ordinary people means public. And D is can only be stopped by educating business leaders? No. So for 32, C is the right answer. Okay guys, let's go on. Question number 33. In the fourth paragraph, the writer describes ways in which the public can. Now what is it that public can do? Public is able to do. Writer describes ways in fourth paragraph. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we'll see the writer describes ways. The public can. Now these are the ways. Very simple. The public can do that by suing businesses for harming them. Number one, as happened after the Exxon Valdez disaster, in which over 40,000 million of oil were spilled off the coast of Alaska. The public may also make their opinion felt by preferring to buy sustainably harvested products and all that. Okay, so mainly public can do that by suing businesses for harming them, as happened after the Exxon Valdez disaster, in which over 40,000 meters something of oil were spilled off the coast and all that. Now let's see. In fourth paragraph, the writer describes ways in which the public can. Now we need to see what is it that public can do. Reduce their own individual impact on the environment? No. Learn more about the impact of business on the environment? No. Raise awareness of the effects of specific environmental disasters? raise awareness of the effects of specific environmental disasters? No. Can influence the environmental policies of businesses and governments? Now let's come back. Public can do by suing businesses for harming them, as happened after this and that. Then they say oil spill. The public may also make their opinion felt by preferring to buy sustainable harvested products, by making employees of companies with poor track record feel ashamed of their company and complain to their own management, by preferring their governments to award valuable contracts to businesses with a good environmental track record, and blah blah blah. That's what they say, influence the environmental policies of businesses and governments. D is the right answer. Is that clear? Yes, well done. Now let's go on. Question number 34. What pressure was exerted by big businesses in the case of disease BSE? Now the name of the disease is BSE. So what pressure was exerted by big business in the case of disease BSE? Now first of all, we are going to find BSE and then we see what do they say about it. See that this is all about, this is the passage and we are going to look for the word BSE. I found it here. BSE is here. So the question is, what pressure was exerted by big business in the case of the disease BSE? Now let's see. Okay, for instance, after the US public became concerned about the spread of disease known as BSE, which was transmitted to humans through infected meat, the US government's Food and Drug Administration introduced rules demanding that the meat industry abandon practices associated with the risk of the disease spreading. But for 5 years, the meat packers refused to follow these, claiming that they would be too expensive to obey. However, when a major fast food company, be careful, however, when a major fast food company then made the same demands after customer purchases of its hamburgers plummeted, means dropped, the meat industry complied within weeks. See, when the fast food company refused to buy meat from those companies because their sale of hamburgers plummeted, went down, then they complied with that, right? So let's see, BSE. What pressure was exerted by big business in the case of the disease BSE? Option A, meat packers stopped supplying hamburgers. No, meat packers do not supply hamburgers to fast food chains. Actually, they may sell them the inner part and all that. B, a fast food company forced their meat suppliers, try to focus this thing, a fast food company actually, and they tried to force their meat supplier to follow the law. Exactly, I tell you why. They said fast food company then made the same demands after customers' purchases of its hamburgers plummeted. The meat industry complied. So they demanded them to go for this type of packing and all that stuff. So option B, fast food company forced their meat suppliers to follow the law. Let's see. C, meat packers persuaded the government. No, they are not that good. Fast food company encouraged the government to introduce legislation. No, they themselves did it. They asked them, do it or otherwise will not buy meat from you. So question number 34, B is the right answer. Okay, thank you very much guys. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.